Hey, what's up, gamers? I've had a couple requests to see my build, so that's what we're doing here. Um, this is pretty easy build. It's nothing too extravagant, and you can pretty much do with whatever gear you have, except for there's three main things you have to have: the Courier's Embrace, Blood Moon Breaches, and the Banished Lord Talisman. But before we get into all of that, let's go through our little skills here. So we're starting out. We're doing one into hemorrhage and one into enhanced hemorrhage just to get us to the next area, and then obviously the blood surge is where it's at, right? This is what we're doing. Then we're going enhanced blood surge, and we're doing the paranormal blood surge, just to get that guaranteed overpower proc. So then we have three into hewed flesh. Sorry about that, and three into imperfectly balanced, one into unliving energy. Unliving? Yeah, that's what it is. Which you don't really need this one, so if you wanted to put that point someplace else, you're more than welcome to do that. Then we're heading down and into the next one. This is our oh shit button. This is our blood mist when things get a little spicy for us and we want to get out of there. And then I put one into enhanced, one into the dreadful, because this build is based on three things. It's the overpower, which is the main, and then the crit and the vulnerable. After that, we're going into necrotic fortitude. We got three. Titan's fall. We got three. Then we come over here and we've got grim harvest three, and fueled by death three. That'll move us down to the curse skills, and we're putting three into death's embrace, and three into death's approach, three into amplified damage, one into decrepify, and then one into enhanced, and one into abhorrent. And I'm not entirely sure if you need the abhorrent or not, because I don't ever cast it. I just got it just in case that gets added to the aura effect that we have on our boots, which you'll see as soon as we get there. Then we're moving down to the corpse and macabre skills, and we're taking three on everything here. All five of these we're putting 3 points in. And then we're taking three into the necrotic carapace, however you say that. Then we're coming down to the ultimate skills, and we're putting three into standalone, three into memento mori, and three into inspiring leader. This is really good if you don't get your crit chance up to 100, because when you're in battle and you're healthy, it gives you that bonus crit. So if you get, say, 88% crit, this will put you up to 100 as long as you're healthy. Then obviously we got to go with the Rathma's Vigor. So that's a skill tree. It's really basic. You got four moves. They're pretty easy. The only one you use is the square button for the most part. X if you run out of essence, and then your art or whatever you want to use for which buttons you're using it for. I guess I'm playing on PlayStation, so those are the buttons I use. Um, yeah, I mean, there's only four different moves, and one of them you don't even use. So it's pretty easy, pretty basic. Next up would be our Book of the Dead. We're sacrificing the skeletal warriors, the skirmishers, and that's going to give us that crit chance. Then we're sacrificing the mages, the bone mage, and that gives us overpowered damage. And then we're sacrificing the iron golem to get the critical strike damage. Then the Paragon board's a little more tricky. Okay, so I've got quite a few Paragon points, but I've got a lot more to get. So we're running 5 different boards here, you can see. And we'll just go quick through the first one. You're going to take this for your resistance and your max life. You're going to take that for your damage and max life, and then you're going to come up the side here. Like, I'll zoom in, you guys can see. If you want to pause it or do whatever you want to do. And then in here, we're taking the blood drinker so we can get that bonus 282 to our. My glyphs are at 85. 85, just so you guys know. The ones that I use, they're at level 85, so they're not even max yet. Whoop. There we go, messed up. So, we take that one simply for that bonus. That 282% is added to these, and that's adding damage to our stuff. Look at that. 38% damage, 57% damage to your elites. Okay, and then we're coming up and we're taking the bloodbath Paragon board. And inside the Paragon board, we're going to use the corporal glyph. And then we're going to go up here, over here, and we're taking all of this stuff. Now we take this one again for the percentage to the magic nodes. So if you look at our magic nodes, now we're doing 133% overpower, right? So that's really good to get those bonuses, man. 57% while fortified, and you're going to be fortified the majority of the time. So, yeah, you go up here, and you go over. You guys can pause it, build your board if you want. And we're coming up here, and we're taking these guys, and this is going to get us here. We're going to get the blood bathe, and then we're going to come up here, and we're going to head over to the right. And in this one, we're taking the frailty board. And in the frailty board, we're going to be grabbing the sacrificial glyph. This, once again, adds that bonus to magic nodes. So if we're looking at our magic nodes, so we got that extra bonus to vulnerable damage. And we've got that extra bonus to crowd control damage. But, yeah, it's pretty basic, I guess. So if we follow this around, I'm going to go down, over. And you're going to grab these guys. And as soon as you get more points, you can start grabbing some of these other ones. I don't really use shadow resistance. You're going to have enough resistance. You're going to go up, grab all those, come over. You're going to go up, grab these boards. Yep. And then we're going to come down, over. We're going to grab this stuff, go down, grab that stuff. And then we have all this stuff. And that's it for that board. So now we're going to get here. And you could have been doing this already, but I'm not sure what you've got done. So we're going to start here at the Bloodbathe node, and you're going to go back up here. You're going to go right and left. So we want to grab this guy, the Guarded Advance, and we want to get this one over here, the Powerhouse. And yeah, you're going to be doing a lot of damage, man. So then we go up, over, and then we're into our next board. And our next board is right here, the Flesh Eater board. And in the Flesh Eater board, we're putting the Dominate glyph. And that's for the willpower, gives you 27% increased overpower. So then you got these little nodes right here for extra overpower. And as you get more points, you can start putting them into these little ones, and it gives you that overpower damage too. So in order to get here, we got to go up. We want to make a right and grab these over here for some life and some resistance. Need that resistance when you get into T4. Then you're going to come up. You're going to make a left and grab these over here for some more life. And once you get more points, you can add more life. And then we're going to go up, get our main glyph right here, or our Flesh Eater node, our main node. It's going to continue up, and we're going to move over to the Stifle. Grab all these over here. And you can see where this is going here. So we got into our glyph with our Dominate. We grab these guys here. I kind of have to get these yet, these magic nodes, but I don't have enough points yet. And then you're going to follow it on your way out into our last board, which is going to be the Blood Begets Blood board. And so that's going to start off. You go straight through, and you're going to come up and over so that you can get this aggression rare node. And from there, you're going to get this glyph socket, and you're going to put in the essence so that we can get some extra critical strike damage. And so if we purchase the dexterity, which you get here, you're going to get that extra crit damage. You can see you get some extra crit damage. It's nice. So if you guys can check it out, do whatever you need to do. Pause the video if you want to see it, but there's still a lot more places to put points, and we still have almost 45 more points, 46 more points that we can get and put in these boards. But that's it for the Paragon tree, and now we're going to get into our gear. Like I said, there's only 3 pieces that you actually have to make this build work. And the first one, the Courier's Embrace. Okay, this is, if you can get a 2-star, 3-star, you're all set. Get it on the max life, but what you really want is that Blood Surge drains from elites. Gotta have that. If you can get that 8 times, you're going to see so much damage. It just pulls so much blood from elites that they just pop so easy. But if you can get a 3-star, you can get it on max life, Blood Surge, and Blood Drains. So that's the most important one. Second one is the Blood Moon Breaches. You want that overpowered damage on your legs, and you can deal the extra overpowered to cursed enemies. I haven't got this one rolled very well because it costs a lot of money and a lot of material, but I've got 2 out of the 3. I'll have to redo that one and try to get 3 out of 3. But the ones that you want there is that overpowered damage, and then if you get a good max life roll, that's even better. Other than that, you don't have to worry about the rest of the stuff. Finally, we have our Banished Lord Talisman. Now, this is what's going to give you another overpower guarantee. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do, is trying to stack guaranteed overpowered hits. One you get from your Blood Surge, that it's guaranteed every time you overpower 5 times enemies, you'll get a guaranteed overpower for everybody. Next one is this Banished Lord Talisman, where as soon as you spend 275 of your primary resources, guaranteed overpower strike. Okay, so those are the 3 pieces you have to have. After that, it's kind of whatever you have the best of. So on your chest piece, you're going to want to have embalmers. You want to roll that on there so that every time you consume a corpse, you have a chance to spawn a blood orb, and those blood orbs are going to give you essence back. They're also going to increase your damage done up to 5 times, I guess. I don't know. It just works. It works, man. I couldn't tell you. It just works. But embalmers on your chest. You want Cursed Aura on your boots. You want the Starlight aspect on your ring. You want Sacrificial on your offhand. And then obviously if you want to get into the Torment 4 and push real good damage, you're going to have to find yourself some Ubers. And hopefully you got the good drops, but if not, there's other ways that you can work around. This ring is pretty essential. You can try to swap it with a legendary ring, but this ring right here is pretty essential. Just because you need to get that resource back. This is a very resource-heavy, resource-dependent build. So if you got the Ring of Starless Skies, you'll be all set. Helmet, you can have whatever you want. Another good aspect to put, if you can switch things around, is Hardened Bones. That usually goes on the chest. If you can get embalmers on the helmet, I'm not entirely sure. But what you're trying to go for with all of these things is you want your crit chance to be at 100%. Okay? So you can see that I don't have my resistances maxed out. I don't know why. They should be, but I'll figure that out later. But what you want is that 100% crit chance so that every single time you hit, you're critting. And then you only get a 3% overpower chance, but we have 2 stacked guaranteed overpower hits. I'm hitting for 9,000% on that. And then you want your vulnerable damage, right? So the only place you can get your vulnerable damage with this build is on your ring. So if you get a good roll on your ring, you can 100% your chance to make enemies vulnerable. So that's what you're aiming for on your Ring of Starlight, is to make everybody vulnerable all of the time. As far as everything else goes, like it's pretty basic, man. Like there's not much to it. Just hold your square button, destroy things, and have fun doing it, I guess. Um, Now, if you have these runes, the runes that I put in here are the one for Warcry, and I do it when I stand still fighting for 7 seconds. It'll automatically cast the Warcry, and the Warcry lasts 6 seconds, so it's almost up constantly. We're only, less than a second and a half where we don't have that Warcry bonus. Then, because of this, I run Invoke a skill from another class 6 times, and we'll get a guaranteed overpower strike. So the Zolzan, XOL, XON. So now we have 3 guaranteed strikes for overpower, which means you're going to be doing it quite a bit. But that's the build. If you like it, great. If not, like, it's not for everybody. I can tell you right now there are some downsides to it. This is really good against elites and bosses. It's not so good against solo trash mob. Like the low level mobs, you're not going to be draining enough essence to really sustain the build. You need to have elites or bosses in order to keep getting that essence. Otherwise, you're going to be using your hemorrhage quite a bit. And here's a little bit of damage showing. I'm going to jump in here quick and give you an idea of what it looks like when you're taking on elites, bosses, and solos. So we're going to start off, we're going to do the normal training dummy, but we're going to do multiple trainers. And you can see that the essence just goes down. See, like now I have to use my hemorrhage. This is where it really struggles. Okay? But if we put on the elite training dummy, you have no problem. It's just all day, hold down the button. And same with bosses. And we'll even do a solo boss. This one's going to be a little more difficult, but even on the solo, it does pretty good. If you run out of essence, you pick up one of these orbs that are on the ground, and it gives it pretty much all the way back to you. So that's what you're looking at. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. Hopefully it works out for you. I'll see you in the next one.